Hi, this is Nikota, and this is Boots to Ground number 15, I believe it is. And I'm going to be talking about patterns and programs that travel through family, how our energies have been completely um, interfered with, i.e., let me do this, moving my little tool along, DNA, RNA, okay, little cells, okay, within here. Right, some will sort of like really get this straight away, okay? Because if you look back into your family, i.e., for instance, like your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out to realizations, I want to say, on how we carry patterns unknowingly, I want to say. If, for instance, separation, divide, which in all fairness, this is more to do with outside stuff going on out there. It is, but it's been going on for eons and eons and eons. It has, and this is why it's so important now. A lot of light workers, star seeds, have feel a little bit lost, in a sense, even feeling like the black sheep of the family, growing up, okay? And there is a much bigger picture, but in actual fact, everybody is completely innocent, okay? All family members have just played their part, they have, because it's actual part of us reawakening, in a sense, it is. You know, reconnecting back within, okay? And as much as we've had experiences that have not been nice with family members, some of it's been quite, you know, very, very challenging, deeply challenging. We can go one way, you can go the other, okay? You can either come into compassion, empathy and understanding and awareness, you can, or you go completely the opposite way where you just go down the rabbit hole and you just get bitter, twisted and whatever, okay? But that's emotions, okay? And this is how the whole system has played out with us, okay? Because the last thing that they wanted us to do, and I'm talking about outside there, okay, benevolent energies wanted us to do, is to really reconnect, clear and neutralize and harmonize our inner field, okay? So we're reconnected back to our divine source energy, essence, and we're doing the work we're here to do. We are. But at the same time, this is so vast, okay, because going back in eons and eons of times, okay, in a sense, to sort of like the point of creation, we made choices, made choices and went down a rabbit hole where experiences turned out to be not so nice. But anyway, it's vast, absolutely vast, this is. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about the present moment in time. The present moment in time, okay, what's playing on out there, okay, the last couple of years, is how much people have really gone into fear. They have. But you see, the fear is vast, and that's the truth of it. But in actual fact, if you just look at fear in your energy field, so let's just put a couple of energy fields around. So we've got ethical, emotional, and mental. Okay. This is, you know, in a sense where we in a sense, become knotted within. Okay, so it could be trauma, that could be shock, it could be from a family member, it could be from a friend, it could be from a workplace, it could be in general public, you know, it could be a multitude of things. But the fact is, once you sort of like awaken from the sleep, I want to say, which is a good one, waking from the sleep, you can actually do something about it. You can. And right now, there's been so many distortions out there, especially in the community of the spiritual and the New Age and all that. And they're innocent. every individual person out there is completely innocent. Okay, deep down to the core self, little diamond self within your core. Okay, it's just experiences. It's just been manipulation. It's been, you know, misleading. And right now, you know, you've got many people out there that bring in authentic truth. Okay, giving you, sharing the tools and, you know, what to do if you can't do it yourself, and, you know, go and find, you know, an alternative light worker. Okay, starseed, therapist, complementary. These just words, because when you work with your energy, you just divine, and that's it. You're just really helping, assisting the collective consciousness. Okay, because we're all connected. Right. So I want to come to specifically families. Okay, and generations and generations have traveled down, stuff has traveled down. Okay, and the more that we travel down into density, the more we experience suffering, trauma, guilt, shame, you name it, we've done it. Okay, and I don't mean we've physically done it, or we may have, but the fact is we've actually experienced, okay, the lowness vibrations. And then when you go down that aspect, that avenue, I want to say, that's where your energy is being depleted, where you're leaking, where you got torn rips, intrusions, multitude of things. But it can be all be reconnected, harmonized. It can, once you really, you know, started to heal within. Okay, and healing is just a word, okay, because it's reconnection, like light bulbs coming on. You going and doing meditations, going doing whatever complementary in a sense, like massaging, swimming, qigong, all of it right across the board, because they're all abilities to help you to reconnect, because the secret to all of it is relaxation. Relaxation, where your whole body in a sense is so relaxed, and you know, healing is actually going on, and it is, because when especially when you're having a massage is actually working on the physical as well. Okay, your physical vessel. But anyway, that's by and by the way, because there's many beautiful souls out there that, you know, really are doing their inner work, and it's radiating out, it is, and we're all reconnecting. Okay, like the web in a sense, and we're doing so much work. It's, you know, it's a marvelous time in one aspect, it really is, because whatever's gone on with the energies that you want to, you know, that have sort of like distracted us, and distortions, you know, that's been really highlighted in so many different ways. And yes, it's shocking people in so many different ways. But the fact is, okay, I'm just going to give a little bit of an explanation to do with generational stuff going on here. Okay. Now, from my personal experience, okay, let me just, okay, yeah. Let me just think how I'm going to work this. Okay. Right. Mum, dad. My mum, dad. Okay. My mum, dad, okay, got together, okay, and separated. Okay, don't get me wrong, they really loved each other. But they played out their part as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And they produced me. They did. And they produced, between them, I had a brother and a sister on this side, so that's 2 children. That's name. And with my dad, there was one, my brother, that was my, in a sense, what you call full blood. Okay. And what they did was separation. When they separated, it was because, how can I say, their energies how can I say that their energies weren't balanced, I want to say, okay. But the fact is they got into a game. They did, as far as I'm concerned. If somebody did one thing, another would go and do, try and get one up. Competition, I want to say. But the thing is, deep down, they were both very broken-hearted. Because they genuinely did love each other, but they just didn't know how to handle their love. Their love was very destructive, it was. But at the end of the day, okay, they produced me, my brother, and my stepsister. They did. Well, my mum did anyway. She had my stepsister. But anyway, right, what I'm trying to explain here is the dynamics, okay, of I came into a situation, okay, I ended up growing up with my grandparents, and my grandparents were very extremely loving, kind, and they, how can I say it, taught me, in a sense, allowed me to grow, and to listen to my energies, in a sense, like with nature, because my grandfather was a gardener, not by profession, but that was his hobby. It was very much into nature. Into nature, he was. And my nan was very loving. She was. Don't get me wrong, she had her moments, but like any parent or grandparent. But the fact is, they were my stable security. They were. And they shielded me, in a sense, from the aspects of the outer world. Maybe they overprotected me, I'm not too sure, but all I know is it was love, it was kindness, and they worked really hard, they did. Where they were in the system, they was, and it was basically go to work, earn your bread, buy your house, and they had the house, pay off your mortgage and stuff like that, pay insurances, and that was their routine. That was. But they were very, how can I say it? They knew they suffered, in a sense, financially to a certain point, but they kept their heads above water. They did. We had love, loads of love. We did. We may not have had much materialistically, but we had love. We did. And I was very, very blessed, and it was only later on in life I realised that my grandparents were my guardians. They were on the earth plane. But anyway, what I'm going to show you is they had two daughters, two twins, they did. And for whatever reasons, okay, they had a love-hate relationship, the twins did. Let me take the two children here, we're going to change from mum down to two daughters. They did, my grandparents, twins, right. They did have a son, but he died in, there was an epidemic to do with tuberculosis, I think in the 1940s it was. But my nan never got over that, she didn't. And in the 1940s, they put her on medication, they did, that she was on for 40 years, 50 years, could have even been. But the whole scenario to do with the death, in a sense, of my uncle had a knock-on effect on my mom and her twin sister, because they were only, I think they were about 6, 7. I'm not 100% sure, but it had a knock-on effect on our older life, it did. And the fact is, grief can be quite, traumatic, and trauma and shock and all that. But you see that the fact is, if my grandparents had been, in a sense, more aware of divine light, okay, and the fact is, when we pass over, you know, we actually go on to a different realm and we don't actually die, it's just a physical die. I think it would have been a little bit more accepting for many, 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 many families, because in the olden ways, going back eons and eons, okay, we used to celebrate a passing, okay, and it was literally just a physical that was gone, but the you know, our energy was moving forward, and some were so gifted that they could actually witness it and experience, you know, the whole ceremony in a sense, okay. But coming back to um the knock-on effect, okay, was it separated and in a sense divided. It did my aunt and my mother. Um, and obviously they were playing out their contracts, I want to say, because everyone was playing out their contracts. And part of it, when I look back on it now, the love that they required, and I'm not saying my grandparents didn't love my mother and her sister, but they did. But being in grief, you tend to shut off, you shut down emotionally, and you don't even realise it. You don't. And this is where it's in the subconscious mind, it sort of plays out. You look like, little bit like a robot. Okay, in grief, in trauma shock, you end up being like a robot. You're not grounded in or anything. And this is about recognizing there is genuine, authentic help out there. And I'm not talking about counseling, sitting down, repeating what's happened. Okay, I'm talking about releasing, okay, where the person actually feels that emotion, okay, on anything, okay, and feels, and it comes out their energy field and it's harmonized and neutralized, okay, because this is going to be the way forward in so many different aspects, okay, because what's been hidden in well, as we all know, it's now, you know, everyone in a sense where we're sort of like neutralizing, harmonizing the energies within, and there's more photons coming in, there's more of our light coming into our physical, okay, and we're actually feeling it, and we've got more tools and more abilities and more you know, expansion and radiance of assisting others, okay, because at the end of the day, yes, it's all collective, it is, but at the same time, you know, some are more aware than others, and it doesn't mean they're any better, it just means they've done more work on themselves, okay, because this is where words and judgments have been, you know, literally patterned out there, okay, and this is what we're actually doing, all the patterns in the programs, okay, we're actually untangling, okay, so the real vibrancy and frequencies that are coming in are unhinging, I want, so I'm saying unhinging, so the correct energies, and it is correct, because you will feel it, you will know it, okay, all that's been hidden is being unhidden, and that's it, bottom line it is, but it's about knowing myself, okay. Now what I'm going to say here, okay, the way that they played it out there, I'm saying out there in the public, okay, separation and divide going back eons and eons and eons, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to separate people from their energies. They wanted to separate people from their families, wanted to separate and divide people from friends, separate people from nature, separate people from, you know, knowing the truth. And the truth is actually within. It is. And it's also about learning. It is about learning. It's about relearning and reconnecting to divine love. It is. Don't get me wrong, we have emotions and feelings that obviously is part of our experience of living down here. Because how would we know any better if we don't experience, you know, emotions of upset, tiredness, laughter, joy? You know, we we chose this. And we absolutely chose this eons and eons and eons ago, but it did get distorted and did get interfered, going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. But now we're in the I want to say we're correcting. We are correcting to a rebalance. Okay. And it is about understanding about being aware, okay, of what's really going on within here, and feeling and being the divine love that we are. Okay. Because you know, the fact is, you can say I love you just like that, but what does it mean unless you're actually feeling that love? And people are very uncomfortable, especially men, okay, because men are sort of like unless they've sort of like really integrated their masculine and feminine, okay, and where they've been patterned and programmed, it is more like the I am, you know, win. It's and women as well. I mean, it goes both ways. It does. Goes right across the board. It does. But look, you know, we're in the right old game. That's what I can say. Okay. But right now, let me just come back. I'm hoping this completely makes sense to everybody, because the fact is, it's in our DNA. Okay. Every time someone is born in our family, okay, there's been patterns and programs that we brought into our DNA, mRNA, okay, to actually, okay, play out in the past. We have, but this right now, the ones that are really working with their inner, okay, and doing what we're here to do, we're actually clearing and neutralizing, harmonizing generational stuff going back and also forward, okay, because we've got more advanced family members, we have, in a sense, that are coming onto the earth plane, because they've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, same as what we're doing. It's like taking over the reins, I want to say. They are. But we're just paving the way as where our parents and our grandparents, unbeknown to us at the time, okay, had already signed up to stuff to sort of like help us get back to center, get back to oneness, get back to your I am presence, reclaim your sovereignty within, okay, and reconnect all the way up the realms, I want to say, okay, and really heal. And we're going to use the word heal, okay, humanity. I'm not going to say it's all going to be mills and blooms. It ain't going to be mills and blooms, okay, but the fact is, it's a choice and a chance, and I'm saying the word chance, okay, for the pure and simple reason, because this is about energies blending together and flowing together. It is. This is about understanding how you got the negative and the positive. These are just words because it's energy, okay. It's just an entanglement that are being smoothed out. It is. So it's no longer memories, in a sense, of sabotage, of guilt, of shame, of all these, you know, lower frequencies that have held us back, in a sense. But at the end of the day, this is about where we are going to be, well, we are in 0 point, some of us are, okay, and you're just really enjoying the experience that we're here to have, okay. Don't get me wrong, we are doing major work, and we really are. But right now, let me come back to, in my family, okay, the pattern of separation and divide, okay. Separation and divide came down my lineage, and I want to say, like, with my brother, with my stepsister, and really did separate us. It did. My brother, in a sense, is like a robot, and my sister, in a sense, is like a robot. Emotionless, and I see a lot of traits. I actually haven't seen my brother in many years, and due to a passing. I saw him about 3 years ago, and I can honestly hand on my heart, I gave him a hug, and it was like hugging a stone. It was, and that showed me how much he was shut down emotionally. But there's been a lot of lies, a lot of deceit. There has, and this is what you do find in families. You do. Why is another avenue. It is, but you see, the fact is, it's when you're here to do your light work, okay, being the black sheep of the family, many out there, okay, in actual fact, they're giving us challenges. They don't realise it, they don't. But the fact is, the more work we do on ourselves, the more it's going to ripple out and actually, in fact, help them to some aspect, in a sense, because when we ripple out energy, it will actually hit them. Obviously, a shift has just gone on there. Okay, and I don't mean hit them in a physical, I mean it will be ease and grace, very gentle, it will, and suddenly they'll feel different, because once we shift, they start to shift, and that is the way the quantum works. Okay, it is about healing in the sense of reconnecting, reuniting. It is about divine love. Okay, it is about kindness, because if you think about it, everything that's been patterned and programmed from the system, okay, into people's lives, okay, they didn't want people to be kind and benevolent, that they wanted to, to test you, and worry you and stress you and argue, and because that is all lower energy. That is, because when you're distracted with all that, okay, then how can you focus on yourself? You can't, because that's when you start going off, in a sense, going out of balance. You do. Okay, you don't really want to hear, you don't want to listen, you don't want to feel, because you're shutting down emotionally. You are. And this is about undoing all of that, like a ball. I want to say, I'm doing it, okay, and make it lovely and smooth, where you can actually feel your essence, where you can feel, hold on a minute, somebody wants to argue in a family, friend, or whatever. No, that's not my frequency, that's not my vibration. It's kindness words. That's all you do. So thank you for sharing. That's not on your stage, in a sense, okay? Because you, in a sense, are like a light bulb, and you're glowing, you're radiant, and you're not having no more nonsense. And this is what's happening now, okay? Things are shifting, okay? And what has really, been, where people have been so downtrodden and wanted to give up, and believed the outside, and forgot about believing in themselves, and forgot about, loving themselves and being kind to themselves. It is. I mean, all in all, what I'm going to say to you, this had such a knock-on effect. And I mean, obviously it goes back with my family, it really does. Because if I go back onto my dad's side, okay, plantation times, okay, St. Vincent, it goes much deeper, okay. And I mean, it's not even what we in 2023, it's not even 120 years ago. They still have plantations in St. Vincent, or 100 years ago. 100, was it 2023? Something. So yeah, some around that period anyway. And I've only recently found this out. Okay. So, and on my mum's side, okay, there was a lot of suffering as well. There was. Going, but if I go back, because where my parents grew up, and my family to do with my grandparents, going back generations, it was all the Iron Age, it was. And that was Birmingham, up north, okay, and that's where they used to do all the iron and steel, and they used to deliver the coal via canal boats. They did. And it wasn't like a boat of today where you just switch on the engine. It was hard work. People have suffered generational. And this is what we're here to do, part of our work with our energy, as we're more that we're doing for ourselves, the more it's actually ripping out and going back generational to actually clear and harmonize that energy with their choice, with their free will, because free will is the most important. Okay, because everybody seems to think that 2023 is just this year. You know, the vastness of the universe, the vastness of the timelines is magnificent, and it really is. Okay, but this is also right now. So you come to me, and yes, I had challenges. I had big challenges. I did, and it rippled down onto my children. Hate, pain, bitterness. I'm not saying this, well, this is all travelled from what I'm aware of, okay, at the present moment in time, to do with my aunt and my mum, okay. Jealousy, enviousness, theft, not just, I'm not just talking about my children, I'm actually talking on the level of my sister and my brother, trust me. Okay. What else? And so, but this goes on in a majority of families, but this is not to do with the families in actual fact. We've just played the parts. This is to do with the system, the patterning and programming. This is how they wanted us. Because when we originally, you know, going back eons and eons, obviously we got tempted somehow. We did and thought, well, we'll go down that rabbit hole to have the experience, not realizing we were going to get trapped, tricked, and all that bananas. I want to say, but there again, at the end of the day, we're coming out of it now. So that's the main criteria it is, in all fairness, because there's new beginnings, that there's wonderful beginnings ahead, there is, but we have got a lot of work to do. We have, and you know, where the words have been interfered with, okay, we have to be, in a sense, we have to use the correct words, which are the correct words, like gratitude, kindness, love, you know, benevolence, you know, light-hearted, radiance, joy, peace, and light. Okay, all these words have a higher frequency, and all these words actually, their frequencies move mountains, and they really do. Okay, but you've also got to be aware. Okay, is, you know, when we go into lower energy, swearing. Don't get me wrong, there's a time for everything. Okay. But the fact is, if you go into swearing, okay, that's lower energy. That is, and that is, you know, sometimes, you know, a person will get to a boiling point and they just explode. They do, and they'll come out with stuff that's completely out of character. Okay, and that is because through worry, stress, and can't get their own way, or whatever. Okay, a multitude of things, or they've been found out doing something naughty. It doesn't really matter. I mean, what matters is being aware, okay? Different types of energies, different types of words, different types of frequencies, and how to harmonize it, neutralize it, and harmonize it, okay? Getting to know thyself, okay? Because when I'm coming down to, you know, all these fractures, I'm calling it fractures, okay, family members, okay, because that's what's happened in families, is fractures, okay. Family members have just split up, and some have been in contact, some have not been in contact. Maybe that was just part of their journey, okay, and that's the truth of it, okay. But the fact is that we've all chosen to have experiences, but the most important thing about everything right now is divine love, divine kindness, and really getting to know thyself, and also knowing to be kind. That's my little boy, okay? My dog, sorry, my dog. He's my boy. One day I will show him on here. But yes, but coming back to what I'm trying to make you're a little bit more sort of like aware of is how our families have been interfered with. Because the reality of this is, okay, is that, it is about kindness, it is about unity, it is about divine love. Okay, don't get me wrong, you have to make mistakes, you do, to learn from mistakes. You have to go through challenges, okay, to rectify, to recalibrate, I want to say, okay, because you're learning more about who you are. Okay, if you want someone to be loving and kind to you, okay, then you be loving and kind to that person, but you don't have ulterior motives. Okay, I mean, you've got archetypes, archetypes out there. I mean, it's so vast, it's unbelievable, it is, but well, it's very believable. But this is about knowing, okay, on my stage, okay, this is how I'm looking at things for me personally. Yes, I've got to go through challenges, and yes, I will know how to work with those challenges, okay. But I want people who come onto my stage in the future that to know it's only the best I will ever want for them. It's only divine love I will ever want for them. It is. And that is the truth from my heart to your heart. It is. And it's about being honest and authentic. It is. It's about being very kind. Um, you know, I've been through the experiences: jealousy, envious, bitterness, hate, all of it. Been there, done it, worn the t-shirt, experienced it throughout. A majority of my life. Deceit. You know, um, so many different things. It's unbelievable, but it would not have made me who I am. Because if these people and my family members, whoever, had not done or whatever they've done to me, and the only thing that I'm sort of like looking at is, well, if you feel that I've done you something wrong, then forgive me. But I'm not carrying that energy within me. I fully assure you, because I'm, the fact is, going through guilt and trauma and stuff like that from an early age, in a sense, okay, because this is where they get you, okay, and the system from your little, okay. This is, where our parents have been patterned into certain ways, our grandparents have been patterned and programmed in certain ways, so we travel down the line, unless they've been working with their energies knowingly or unknowingly. I know for a fact, with my grandfather working in the garden, he's working with nature. I can actually tell you that the day he died, the night he died, the whole garden died. When we got up the next morning, the whole garden died. That's how much my grandfather was showing me about his energy and the input that he had into the garden. I've been very blessed in one aspect I have with the elders that came on my path to help me. And in all fairness, I'm just going to pause you. Apologies. Yeah, as I was saying about my grandfather, he was one of my main awarenesses of like the light bulb. I mean, because I saw his soul. I saw the silver cord come out of his body and fill up the whole house. I did. And that's when I really knew something, profound was going on. And maybe, in a sense, because I was so heartbroken over losing a great auntie. And I was privileged and I was honoured to witness that. I was. And since then, there's been many that have, come on my path and been able to assist. But I'm just the conduit in a sense, but it's my spirit teams that do all the work. And I feel really, really privileged and really grateful, really grateful. But don't get me wrong, I've had challenges within patterns and programs to do with family and whatever, okay, but I, obviously I chose to come into this realm to assist not just my family, you know, as others, but also, you know, collective consciousness, because, you know, we're energy. That's it. We move mountains, and we really do. I can sense, see, hear, feel, you know, time travel. No, anyway, but what I'm actually saying to you, okay, this is about really, you know, giving yourself a chance, okay? Nobody, okay, with due respect, no matter what you've been through, whatever you've experienced, no matter how dark, okay, you have felt, okay, are you lost? That's all you are, you're lost, okay? Because deep within, you're a diamond. Deep within, you're light. You are. God, source, creator, you're connected, okay? And the more that you've experienced, trust me, the more you've got radiance to really, really shine, okay? Because really, look, light does not survive without darkness. Darkness does not survive without light. Yin and yang, okay? It's just experience. Distortions. We're multitasking, you know, like Doctor Strange film. Trust me, we're multitasking. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a part 2 on this, okay, because I really would like to go a little bit more deeper, just in case, you know, people, you know, it could be one word, it could be one action, but people are really going to, you know, the light bulb comes on a little bit more, okay, because this is about how we work, okay, how we've been programmed pattern, definitely, but how we harmonize it within, okay, and how we've got more light rays, I want to say, coming in. We have, and that's why part of a majority of us are feeling sometimes a little bit out of sorts, okay, but that is because the more work that we're doing within, the more the density is releasing, so the more light is coming in, your more your essence is coming into your physical body. It is there's no one man island, okay. I want to say what I mean by that is, you look, we're evolving all the time, okay, but when we get stuck, and we do get stuck, we can, okay, you will need help. And you will need help with someone that's a little bit more aware. That's it, bottom line. It is. But we're taking the rose tinted glasses off. Okay. Because it's time. It's just time. It is. I have no idea what's going to be unfolding next 6 months, but I know it's going to be good. And I know, you know, holding like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But trust me, the more that you ground yourself in, the more it's going to be with ease and grace. It is. And it's not really going to affect you to that point unless you allow it to affect you. That's the difference. It's what you will allow in. It's your boundaries. It is. It's what you won't allow. And you may suddenly have people suddenly turning up and seeking your help. And you've got the tools there to actually help. You know, we're in this amazing time. We really are. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, I hope this sort of, like, you know, it gives you a little bit more clarity in the journey. Okay, you're not mad, you're not silly, you're not stupid. Okay, you're just divine essence having a human experience, full stop. You are. And you can move mountains with your energy when, you know, I mean, I loved it when I worked with, it's like, wow, literally. The more you can expand, the more you can move, and it's about being balanced. It is, and it's about using or working with your inner tools. That's all it is. It's just working with your inner tools. You go and work on a 9 to 5 job in an office and use a computer. Well, look at a computer inside here. In a sense, it is, because you're working with your tools. You've got many gifts and many abilities. You have. But it's about working with it in a balanced way and doing no harm. Because it's part of it's the law of the universe, isn't it? You do no harm. You do no harm. Don't get me wrong, you're allowed to defend yourself, but you do no harm. Okay? You just transmute any of that nonsense. You don't just transmute it, okay, to whatever realm or evolution it needs to go. Okay? Because that's when you get interfered with, interfered energies, I want to say, not interfered with personally. All you can do, your energies can be interfered with. Okay, but the more that you know yourself, the more you're going to be on top of anything like that. You are, and you're going to know straight away what to do. And that's why we are to be aware of all. We are. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job. You're here to do a job. Okay, but most of all, it's about enjoying your experience, not feeding into lower vibrations and frequencies. That's what it is. So with Love Light, okay, right, if you want to contact me, then you contact me with oneness888.com, that's a website. If you want to email me, it's oneness888@protonmail.com, okay. I'm on Facebook, and that's Nikota. I'm on Instagram, Nikota Limitless, I am. Because that's what we are, we're limitless. We're not in a box. Well, I'm not, that's for sure. I may look like I'm on a screen, but trust me, I'm limitless. But it's about fun, upliftment, and joy. It's about being true to yourself. And don't get me wrong, when you've got, family members, whomever, okay, or colleagues or whatever, that they're not in a good place and whatever, but I think it's how it's how you sort of like manage it, okay, because you get a lot of jealousy and a lot of enviousness, you do, and a lot of cruelty, okay, you can see a lot of cruelty. But hey ho, it's about really focusing on yourself. It is. Giving yourself the best chance and the best ability to be the best that you can be, the unique divine being, having a human experience. Don't doubt yourself, okay? Always go with your first instinct. Think something's not right, trust me, it'll always be so. Because it is about being at universal school. It is. Know thyself. Much love and light, and I'll catch up with you very shortly. I'm doing number 2 because I'm feeling that I need to explain a little bit more on how it travels down our lineage, okay. And it doesn't make that anybody's done anything wrong, because they haven't. It's just experiences, and it's a system, okay, going back eons and eons and eons when they interfered with the system. It is. Not saying that we shouldn't have experienced it, obviously. When we reconnect back to the realms we're meant to be in, dimensions we're meant to be in, we'll have much more awareness, won't we? Oh, that's why that happened. That's why that happened. Okay, right. Next part of the journey. Here we go. Off again. Somewhere else. So, but right now, trauma, fear, shock, lack, all of that, it's about transmuting it all, and it's about everyone coming together in unity. And if you need your energies cleared, you need your energies cleared. Okay? But it seriously is about you, everybody getting to know our divine self. Okay? So, cleaning out the vessel. Well, your life has been challenging, but cleaning out your vessel Lots of fun, lots of exploring. It is, um, but most of all, lots of unity within, where you literally just nothing like it, nothing like it. Okay, right. So I'll catch up with you later. Lots of love, many blessings to all. Oh, okay. I hope that didn't come up.